Hey guys, I'm actually back from PAX. And for those of you that don't know PAX, it stands for the Penny Arcade Expo and is hosted in Seattle by Tycho and Gabe. They're actually the creators of the Penny Arcade webcomic. Now, it wasn't my first time in Seattle, but it was my first time attending PAX, and I really didn't know what to expect. I have a lot of friends that have gone before and were telling me how amazing it was. Well, I had to experience it for myself. Man, it was unbelievable. So I arrived Thursday, and that gave me a little bit of a chance just to do my registration and to chill out for the first day before the convention began on the Friday. I did the keynote first thing Friday. It was excellent. Did a Q&A with Tycho and Gabe. That was really, really fun. And then at 1 o'clock I met Gamester81, and he came back and hung out and played a little Street Fighter because we actually had a huge parlor room that was ready for the party that we were having on the Saturday. And so after that, we actually headed down at 3 o'clock to the Seattle Convention Center to meet, fans of the show. Yeah, I gotta tell you, it was a surreal experience meeting the fans. It was really, really awesome. Everybody was super nice. But yeah, it was just such a crazy moment. There was so many people actually who showed up. So we handed out all the prints. From there, we actually went with a couple of people who did watch the show, and we went to the exhibition hall and decided to check that out. And I was really excited about the exhibition hall. I didn't know what to expect. I walked in, and I've never been to E3, but I imagine this is what E3 is like. It was just this massive room, and all of the companies were there, sporting, the latest games, and I was just like, holy cow, I was like blown away. And even Gamester81, he's like, you gotta chill out, because I was just like, oh my god, that's there, and Square Enix is showing, Front Mission Evolved. I'm easily excited when it comes to stuff like that, so that was very exciting to see all that, but really overwhelming at first. You walk in, you're like, oh my god, there's so much stuff to check out. So we began. And now I'm going to talk about all the cool games that I saw there. Square Enix was there, and they were showing Final Fantasy XIV running on the PS3. And I gotta say, it looked really good. I was a big fan of, number 11, but number 14 looked awesome. Also, they were showing Front Mission Evolved. And I walked past the booth, and it just caught my eye. I'm like, wow, this looks great. And in the past, Front Mission used to be just a strategy game. And now they're moving it forward and making it more of an action game. And it looked fantastic. It looked really, really good. It kind of reminds me of Border Break by Sega. It's an actual arcade game by Sega. It's kind of got a similar feel and look to it, which is a great thing. I'm a super fan of Border Break. Sega was there, and they were showing Sonic 4, and it looked really, really nice, and there's quite a few people always playing the game. They were also showing Phantasy Star Portable, Valkyria Chronicles 2. That looked really good as well. Also, another surprising game was NBA Jam by EA. For anybody who remembers the old arcade game and Super Nintendo ports. Wow, this game looked good. It was actually, we played it on the Wii. A Gamester had actually a bit of a go on it, and it was quite a popular game. People were actually talking about it quite a lot. So it had all the old arcade modes from the original, and the big head modes and all that kind of thing. It looks good. I think it's something to look forward to. Next up is a sequel to a game I absolutely love. I did a review on it in the past, and that is Dead Space 2. Wow, Dead Space 2 looked fantastic, I gotta say. It looks a lot like the first one, which is not a bad thing, because the first one looks so damn good, but there was a huge lineup to play this game. But from what I saw, I loved it. I'm absolutely buying it day one. Now, the game of the show, I will actually probably call it the game of the show. Duke Nukem Forever. Wow, we walked in and we heard that this was announced, that they had actually, announced at the show. We couldn't believe it. I'm like, no. I'm like, it's gotta be a joke. It's always been a joke that they're making this game. But no, it actually was at the show, and it was playable, strangely enough. Now, I personally couldn't get in the lineup because I was too busy taping everything else for the show, because it was a 3-hour wait to actually play Duke Nukem Forever. But friends of mine that were there said it was excellent. And one of the first things that you do in the game is you're actually at a urinal, and you actually have to hit the X button to piss or whatever. So, Duke Nukem fans, you're gonna love this game. I think it's gonna be excellent. Yeah, there was some huge lineups for that game. It was like completely mad. But I think everybody was talking about Duke Nukem Forever at the show. And they were showing the new Mortal Kombat. Now, I know kind of Mortal Kombat fans were a little turned off with the DC versus Mortal Kombat because there was no real blood in it. Well, rest assured, this new Mortal Kombat looks just like the old school game that, some of us fell in love with a long time ago. It looks really nice. I like the graphical style. I love the fatalities. The fatalities were brutal. So, another game to really look forward to. Finally, I got to see the Kinect in motion, to get actually a chance to see it being played, and It looks good. I'm still not completely sold on it all. I think it's accomplishing what it needs to accomplish. I'm just gonna say those are not my types of games, but a lot of people were having a lot of fun with this stuff, so it might be a huge hit when it comes out as well. Another big game, Dragon Age 2. They were pimping this game like nothing else. Another game of the show was Fallout Vegas. Wow, there was lineups around, you know, the entire booth just to get in there. It was a huge lineup, but everybody wanted to play the game. And the game looked really good. I was a big fan of checking that out. And people were also waiting along to get t-shirts as well. So, big game, Fallout Vegas. And when I was walking around the Vegas booth, I actually saw Will Wheaton. And I got the camera on him quickly, but man, he was swamped with people. I felt really bad for him. He was like all over the place. Another game with huge amounts of buzz, was Portal 2. And it looked great, and the big selling feature of Portal 2, and I didn't know this before I checked it out, was co-op. Actually, something I heard that's really funny about the multiplayer is that you can actually shoot portals under, you know, the second player or the first player. So you're playing with somebody and you're like, boom, blast a portal, they go flying down, and they're flying down and blast another portal. It could get like madness, this game. I'm thinking it's gonna be awesome. Next up was the Hudson booth. And it was really great because they were showing a new Bond game. It was called Brink of Extinction. So I talked to one of the reps there, and he said the game is for download only, so another game to look forward to. Obviously, I had to go to the Capcom booth. There was a lot of great stuff. They were showing the Mega Man Universe trailer, but their big game was Marvel vs. Capcom 3. They had so many, setups to play the game on, and one big screen setup to play it on, and it was packed all day. I got a chance to play it, and I liked it. It's one to look forward to for sure. Another really big game for Capcom was Dead Rising 2. Now, I gotta admit, I wasn't a huge fan of the first game, but from what I saw of the second game, I might actually give it more of a chance. I liked it. Like, some of the blood and guts were over the top. I loved it. Next up was the Nintendo booth. Their big games were Dragon Quest IX, and they were handing out some really cool swag for that. And Metroid Other M was a big game for them, and the new Donkey Kong, big games for them. I quickly went through that. There was a lot to get through there. Next up on the Saturday night was the Game Deals party. Wow, this was a lot of fun. I had a really good time there, and I got to meet a lot of really cool people who actually dropped by for the party. We actually had Craig from Screw Attack drop by. Great to see him, great to talk about gaming with him. He played some Street Fighter as well. We also had the Far From Subtle guys who do the great YouTube show Awesome Video Games. Really great to hang out with those guys, really great to play some video games with them. Really had a good time that night. It went pretty late, but everybody felt pretty good the next. No, we didn't. We all were terribly hungover. We really were. It took me a day to recover from that one, but a really good time. So I thought I'd take a moment in this video to have a look at some of the swag that I got when I was down there. There was a lot of stuff you could get. So sometimes when you're actually there, just watching a demo being played, you actually get shirts. So I got the Deus Ex shirt. It's got the PAX logo on the bottom here. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's by Square Enix. And here's a good one. I'm not taking it out of the bag yet. Splatterhouse, the new Splatterhouse game. Right in here. Shirt, awesome. Now here's one. It's a patch, and I got this for playing From Mission Evolve. So you can put it on here. You can do what you want with it. Valkyria Chronicles 2. I got these set of buttons actually, which is really cool. Yeah, I'm definitely not opening any of this stuff up. I'm gonna keep it, because that's going to become a cool little collector's item. BioWare was giving away tons of these. They were the Dragon Age. They're inflatable swords, basically. Everybody's walking around hitting each other with them, so I decided to keep mine in the packet still. And here's one. Everybody was dying to get this. And it was a slime bag from, obviously by Square Enix, and it was at the Nintendo booth. So I think I got like one of the last, there was like 10 left, and I'm like, please give me one, thank you. And here's a good one. I should have picked up more of these actually. I haven't played the game, but I do like the poster. Metroid Other M. Very nice. And a set of postcards by Square Enix here. But the funny thing is, there's so much swag to get there. A lot of it you gotta line up for. Like the Fallout Vegas t-shirt. You have to line up for that. I wish I grabbed that actually. But yeah, so much stuff is handed out to you. It's phenomenal. But if you want to like wait in line all day, you'll get a ton load of stuff. So guys, those are my quick impressions of PAX. Had a fantastic time there. I am always going to go back to PAX. I think they had about 75,000 people there. And I gotta say that this all began from a couple of guys who had a webcomic. You know, Penny Arcade, Gabe and Tycho. And they've grown, you know, into this amazing convention. that, you know, as I said, 75,000 people show up to. It kind of just shows you that if you have a vision and you want to accomplish something wonderful in life, nothing can stop you, because look at what those guys have accomplished. I went to that convention, everybody else did, we all had a fantastic time, and gotta thank all the hosts of Penny Arcade for putting this on for everybody. It was a wonderful time, and hopefully guys, you can get there next year. There's also one in the East, I believe that's in March, so definitely if you can't get to this one next year, try to get out to the one in the East. Completely worth it, had a great time. Anyways guys, until next time.